Okay, we're going to talk about giving a horse or rinsing a horse down after you ride him and give him a rinse off. I see a lot of people putting up horses. They just get off a horse, and as soon as they get off and finish riding, they just walk over and they put them up. And you get all these sweat marks, and the next day you'll see this sweat mark. It's okay, Big T. You'll see those sweat marks all over the horse, and it dries, and it causes this caking right here. It's all right, Big T. I know, I'm not going to get you. So you see this caking right here where the salt and dirt and sand and all this hair is like flattened out and mashed down. That's all, that doesn't feel comfortable horse. You got the cinch here, you got the cinch mark here where it's gonna dry and it's gonna mat his hair down. All this hair right here where the blanket's been rubbing on him. All this, you know, when you just throw a horse up after he gives you a good ride, that's the epitome of bad horsemanship. When I see people, the next day I see a horse, and if he has a saddle mark on him, I look at that horse and I go, poor horse, I wouldn't want to be owned by your owner. If you can't take the time to wash your horse down and rinse down some salt and make him feel good after he gives you a good ride, then that's pretty poor horsemanship. So once you give your horse a ride, when you take that blanket off, you need to rinse him off. And I'm just going to rinse off one side of Big T here real quick. And I always start the legs, and I want to leave him used to the water and the feel. And then I rinse off those back legs. You can see the mud and the dirt from us going through. I'm going to get all that off him. He may go out in the pasture and step in some mud, but I'm going to make sure that I get most of that off of him. And you're going to notice, when I get right here, you're going to see a lot of this white foamy. This white foam is salt. And this is what stops him from being able to cool down correctly. Horses are the only mammals that sweat all through their body like humans. No other animal sweats through their body except horses and humans. You know, if you've ever worked out all day and sweated and been outside, and when you take a nice shower, you just feel refreshed. Well, that's what you need to do to your horse. And I don't use soap. I rinse my horse down just about every time I ride him. If he sweats, he gets a little water and wet down. Cools him off, rinses the salt off, makes him feel good. Gives me some bonding time with him. Helps him get used to the water. And if you notice here, there's a nice wash rack right here. It's got a big chain. Chains and horses, boy, you gotta love that. Just, I tell you what. Anyway, it's got a good tie point. Somebody built this. It's got concrete. It's got a nice little loop there, and then it's got these little rings in the back here to where you can put another chain and trap the horse in. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't put a horse in here. I don't use cross ties. I wouldn't put a horse in here. This makes a horse feel trapped. I want my horse to be tied so he has a little bit of room, and if he wants to move, or if a bug crawls on his leg, or something spooks him, I want him to be able to move out a little bit. So when you rinse down your horse, make sure you rinse him out, get all the salt underneath his belly, all where the cinch is at, and of course don't forget the face. Nobody wants to do the face. If you trained your horse right, he should let you go ahead and rinse that. I'll rinse out his eyes a little bit in case there's any salt in his eyes. Now he doesn't necessarily like this, but I've taught him that he needs to accept this because I know it's good for him. All that salt and stuff going on him isn't good for him. So he needs to learn that I can spray him down and hose him off everywhere. And then maybe I'll give him a little drink there if he wants a little water. He probably don't want any. He may take a little bit. You can tell this horse has been groomed and washed a lot because he allows me to do all this. Did he allow me to do this first time? Absolutely not. But because I do it every time I ride him, it becomes routine. He knows what to expect. When I take the saddle off, I come over, Dad's going to wash me down, Dad's going to wet me, Dad's going to spray water in my face, he's going to make me feel good, he's going to let me out the pasture, give me a carrot, and then let me go out there and run and be a horse. So make sure and rinse down your horse after you ride him. It's good horsemanship. It's taking care of your horse, and if you were a horse, you'd probably want to be rinsed down and get that sweat off you after you gave your owner a good ride. Hope that helps.